Hello and welcome back to Canal Street Chronicles. I am Dylan Sanders, and this is Dylan Soehner. I want to get the cat out of the bag, the elephant in the room. I want to address it. Our names are very similar.
Yeah, for sure.
Dylan Soehner, Dylan Sanders. Whenever I was in elementary school, there was a kid in my class, all growing up, whose name was Dylan Sanchez. So in like whenever the loudspeaker would go off and be like Dylan Sam, we'd always like look at each other and see which one it was because we'd have to wait till the very end to find out.
Right.
But how you doing today?
Doing good, man. Living the dream actually. So it's been good.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. Like, how does it feel to be like a New Orleans Saint?
It's awesome. I've been here 2 weeks or so. Love it so far. It's kind of wild still a little bit. But at the end of the day, you play football, you work out, you do the same stuff that you've been doing your whole life. So it's not too drastically different thus far, but I'm having a lot of fun for sure.
Well, you grew up in Arkansas, right? So like, were you a Saints fan growing up?
Yep. I actually grew up liking the Saints. There's obviously no team in Arkansas, so people just kind of pick and choose. A lot of Cowboys fans, Kansas City fans, Tennessee. The Saints are probably like not the most popular in the state, but it's just kind of who I rooted for growing up. And it was like really lucky that it kind of worked out the way that it did with everything. So
I need to ask you. I've been wanting to ask you this about Prairie Grove, Arkansas. Is it true that one of the biggest attractions is a telephone booth?
That is true. There's a telephone booth that's like really old, and it's like straight out of a Superman movie, a telephone booth. And people go to it. There's that and like a battlefield park from the Civil War, and that's it. And then one stoplight, and that's you've seen the whole town. So
that's awesome. So I want to ask you, growing up a Saints fan, let's do this for Saints fans. Who's a Saints player that you think that you would not compare yourself to because like you're your own player, but like that Saints fans could look for and like think that they could expect from you basically?
Oh man, I don't know. I don't know if there's like a Saint specifically that I would have in mind for that. There's a lot of players around the league that I like to watch tape of. I wouldn't. I know Josh just left. I wouldn't compare myself like to him, but I like watching him a lot. Similar play style. Honestly, I'm coming into the league the same way he did. So we wear the same number. That's kind of so. I like that guy. There's a lot of comparisons. Like I take a little bit, learn from a lot of guys around the league. But I mean, man, outside of Josh, I wouldn't say there's anybody I would say I'm identical to right now. Mm-hmm. But
yeah. So what players around the league do you like to model yourself after?
Yeah. So there's everybody knows like, the Travis Kelce's of the, those guys like Ertz, like these guys that are putting up these receiving numbers. There's actually like a lot of blocking tight ends around the league and like a lot of pretty good ones too. Lee Smith is a guy that I like to watch tape of, was in Buffalo. And I think he's with Atlanta right now, just this past free agency. Boyle in Baltimore, good player, really like his play style a lot. And then obviously my man Gronk, real big body guy, uses his body incredibly well in the pass game. And, he puts his hand in the dirt and blocks people too. So I like watching him a lot for sure.
Yeah. I mean, there are not many, 6'7", 275 tight end. Yeah, no, that's awesome. I want to ask, what was your favorite memory playing at Iowa State?
Man, luckily I had a lot of them. It was a good career. I think my freshman year or redshirt freshman year, we go down to Norman and we're like Iowa State has kind of like made a name for themselves. We've been good the last few years. At this point, we were not. We're coming off a 3-9 season. I think we might have been 1-3, maybe 1-2 at the time. And we go down to Norman. We're like 34-point underdogs or something. and they got Baker Mayfield, whatever, and we beat them. And it kind of just turned the tide of the program from that point on. And so for me, that's probably my best memory from there.
I have a friend that would murder me if I didn't ask you this, but what is it like playing under Matt Campbell?
It's awesome. He's an incredible human being. You take away the football piece of it, the guy is just an incredible human. So that's kind of rare. I mean, there's a lot of good coaches out there. Don't get me wrong, but just to find a guy that's genuine and cares about his players the way that he does is really awesome. And then inside of football, he's obviously a great football coach. Everyone's been able to see what he did with the program. But yeah, I've nothing negative to say about the guy. He's awesome, and I would like, if I could go back, I wouldn't go play for anyone else.
Is it true that did you commit there like 3 days after you visited or something like that?
Yeah. So
you just knew immediately?
Yeah, that was my first official visit. I'd started to plan like the other 4 or whatever. And then I took it, and then I just canceled the rest, and it's kind of new, the area was good. I liked being there. It just kind of had a feel to it. And then the coaching staff was just awesome. So, this starts with Coach Campbell, but really trickles down. All the coaches there are incredible. And I've got good relationships with all of them, and they stick together, which is really rare in college football. Like, they've been coaching. These guys have been together 10 plus years. Like, you don't really see that, so, yeah, it's a great deal they're doing up there.
And so let's talk about like your fit with the Saints. Me and my good friend Ross Jackson, one of our favorite things about offense is blocking. So we're really excited. What have you talked to the coaching staff about what they plan to use you, how they plan to use you in like year one?
So I think right now they're just kind of, we're developing, we're working on really specific detail stuff, fundamentals, every day right now. Nothing specific as far as like, game plan wise, like, where my role in the offense might be at. They probably don't even know at this point. Just to, get through camp and see what happens there, because honestly, I feel like they don't even know what I can and can't do, and like, and I've never played National Football League, so I don't even know what I can and can't do. So I think, we're gonna get into camp, and obviously we've got, great guys on defense for me, to kind of test the waters out during training camp. So we'll get through that, and then when we get going in the season, kind of see what happens.
Outside of like, people will look at the website, the Saints website, look at the roster, they'll see your size and think that you're just blocking. What do you think you can bring outside of just blocking?
Yeah, I mean, I got a little more involved in pass game in college this last season. It was a unique situation for us. We had 3 NFL talent tight ends. We used all of them really well, but so that obviously targets are split. So there was that. But I think like when you take a guy that's like assumed a blocking tight end, especially in a scouting report, it's really easy for him to slip out into play action, and I did that a lot too. Coming across the formation and play action, or even the front side on nakeds and stuff like that. But I've done a lot of that, and that's it's pretty easy. Like, a lot of people could do that, but I'm kind of excited to kind of sharpen those like route running skills over the summer, and see if maybe there might be more there than what a lot of people think. And if there's not, and if maybe my career changes early on, maybe it's a primarily blocking role, and I don't see any targets, and that's okay too. But it can always evolve over time. So I'll get out there and block my ass off, and whatever happens. That was kind of our motto through college. Early on, we weren't getting a lot of targets in our tight end room, and that's what we said, man, just block your ass off, and the balls will come. So,
hey, that's all you can really do. Just go out and do your role. I want to ask you, not that I think that this will ever come into play. You can never count out with Sean Payton, but I want to ask, we talked about you getting some more catches in your senior season, but I want to ask you about going 1 for 1 with 28 yards passing.
Yeah. Uh, you're right with Coach Payton. You don't know, and who knows what would happen. Uh, it was awesome. I threw pass. I played quarterback for a long time, and then while I had moved away from quarterback in high school, I threw a pass as well. It, I just, man, like I think being out before practice, throwing the ball around, like I have a cannon, and so like I have an absolute cannon, and so the coaches are like, oh, they see that, and I guess like, yeah, we'll let them throw a pass on a trick play. So we usually have like at least one of those a year that we run, and I just got to be the guy this year. Offensive coordinator, like when we ran it in practice, was like, man, if he's covered at all, just like eat it and get what you can get. And like in the situation, the guy's like on his back a little bit. I was like, dude, I'm getting one shot at this. I'm letting it rip. So we did, and we got the completion. So it was good.
It worked. It worked out. Y'all heard it here first. Quarterback competition growing in New Orleans. Man, I can't wait. I can't wait to I just need to see in practice one day. Don't worry, if you ever unleash the cannon in practice, Saints fans will go crazy about it. That's one thing I know.
Okay.
But no, that's awesome. Growing up, let's go back to being a Saints fan growing up. What's your favorite Saints memory growing up outside of the Super Bowl? Because I think that's everybody.
Yeah, so the Super Bowl is definitely a big one. Man, honestly, this is gonna sound crazy, but like in third grade, I got like a Reggie Bush. I'm pretty sure it was third grade. I got a Reggie Bush jersey. That's crazy, right? Because it seems like he didn't play that long ago, but I was in third grade or whatever.
Yeah.
I was young. I got a Reggie Bush jersey for Christmas, and that was like incredible to me. And I worked at school like 10 times a month at least. And our principal in that school was a Saints fan too, and so we built a relationship there too. So it was cool. That's a personal Saints memory for me.
Oh, for sure.
I still have the jersey. It's like an adult small, so you know how big I am now. So
yes.
it's been a while since I wore that thing.
Were you wearing an adult small in third grade?
So might not have been third grade exactly. I was little.
Just younger. Yeah. That's it. Let's see. Yeah, Reggie Bush was probably about that long ago. I'm 23 as well, so we're about the same age. So it was probably around there.
But man, the Super Bowl was like, I'm sure there was a lot of people in New Orleans crying. I was crying. Like I was young then too. I was just a kid. Why did I care so much? That was crazy. Like, and just the playoffs leading up to it was great. It was all great. That was that was awesome.
I remember growing up. I remember in our cafeterias every week, our like lunch ladies would like be singing this like black and gold to the Super Bowl as they're like handing us our food for like weeks. It was so much fun. And then we won it, and that's awesome. But of course, you're gonna get your own ring one day with the Saints, at least one.
Yeah, for sure.
That's gonna be awesome. So let's talk about what do you like to do outside of football? Like, what do you do in your free time?
Yeah, there's not it's not a lot of time outside of that. Now I guess you'll get a little more time in the off season than what you get in college. Kind of go out, travel, whatever. I hunted in Arkansas growing up. There's not like, that's been a struggle with the seasons overlap and stuff. Man, I just kind of relax, and whatever my friends are doing, like I'll go do. I like to golf. I got to get some clubs made for me though, because like you should see how like I get the pitching wedge out, and I'm like doing a full squat to hit the ball. So I got to get some extensions and then get the club head angle. I got to do all that. But
I see the microphone, the HyperX microphone. What kind of games do you play?
Oh yeah, that's another like whatever my friends are playing.
Yeah, I
Warzone. Like I don't know, the battle royale game's starting to get a little stale right now.
To be fair, that's what anyone has done for the past year, because that's all that there really was to do.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, you play on PC?
Yep.
Did you build your own?
I did. So I built my own, and then I gave it away when I was moving around in January, like combine training, all that. And I just bought a new one. I bought a pre-built because I couldn't find the parts to build my own. So
Dude, parts are impossible to find right now. They're really, really.
yeah,
My friend talks about it all the time. Like everybody comes and asks him like about how to build their own computer. He's like, well, good luck because
yeah. It's like I
parts
think
are really, really rough.
yeah, I guess like the Bitcoin miners and stuff buy all the graphics cards and and then you got the scalpers that are just buying and reselling. So it's making it tough. But yeah, that's what I plan. I have the 3090 in here. So I
Mm-hmm.
plan to pull that out and use that as, and build my own with it eventually. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Around New Orleans, where have you eaten so far? What's the best restaurant you've had?
I've only been to like one Mexican place that's down the road from where I live, and I don't even remember the name of it, but it was pretty cool. They've got they do like bottomless margaritas on Thursday for like $20. So that's a cool deal they do over there. I might have to go there on a Thursday.
That's hey, it sounds good, man. All right. Well, anything else you want to say to the people of Saints of Who Dat Nation?
I don't have much. I'm excited to be here. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and like yeah, I'll do whatever I can personally for sure to put W's in the column. So just know that you got me on your side for that.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks so much for coming through. That was a blast. And sign out, y'all. You'll find me on Twitter at Dilly Sanders. Your Twitter is man. I just lost. I just had it. It was just Dylan Soehner, right, or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's just Dylan Soehner. Have a good one, guys.